Hi everyone, so I'm back again on this live Q&A, chakra removal, alien implant overlay Q&A. I had to cut the last one short because my chat wasn't working. So I'm just waiting. I'm getting my messages again now. Brilliant. So I just want to introduce, before I get into questions, there's people coming on now, so great. Guys, I just want to say this Q&A is only as good as the questions that you ask. So please chime in. Don't just sit there lurking. Please feel free to ask questions. There's no taboos in these sessions. We talk about everything, as you all know, the people that are regulars here. So I just want to start, chakra removal for the people that are new. This work goes way beyond chakra removal. We're talking alien implants, overlays, AI, all kinds of hijacking. Cut a very long story short, how did I come across chakra removal? I'm like everyone else. When I first heard about it, I thought, no, that is absolutely crazy. I was a Reiki level 3 practitioner. I'd done a lot of work with chakras, and I had a little bit of cognitive dissonance over it. The reason that I went for it was because at the time I was suffering a lot of psychic attacks and energetic interference, and I was walking around in a soup that I couldn't get out of. This was suggested to me. And there was something about it. I thought, do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if that was a trap as well. And sure enough, I had the session, and the next day, this interference that I'd had for several months had cleared, and I couldn't believe the clarity. That's why. So at that point, I was like, right, okay, I need to learn how to do this, and I also need to tell other people that the chakras are basically a massive new age deception, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, new age deception. And the problem we're up against is that people love them, and they've very cleverly made them look very nice with the rainbow colors, the vortexes, the lotus flowers. They look very nice, but they couldn't actually be more evil. And for those of you that don't know, basically the chakras act as a plug, or so interdimensionals and entities just outside of our visible light in the fourth dimension lock into and feed on our emotions and sexual energy. So that's basically what we're dealing with the chakras. It's first-hand experience from myself, and it's experience from how others have felt after the session. But my work, really, chakra removal is the tiniest part. It's expanded massively now into all different types of overlays, implant removal, and removal of AI. The chakra removal is just the very tiniest part of what I do. Let me just go through some of these questions. So Claire, what can we do to protect ourselves so we avoid being attacked in 4D? Okay, so this is going to be a real boring answer. I'm not here to tell people what they want to hear. Unfortunately, I just tell people what I think they need to hear. People ask me, how can we protect ourselves? Well, first of all, until we have all the frequencies that stop all this interference coming in full stop, we have to protect ourselves as best we can. We can do that by by having certain crystals, tourmaline, shungite, that kind of thing. We can do that by basically protecting our energy. Now, what do I mean by that? Basically, any interference can come in when we're out of our center, when we're really off our center. That means drunk, that means high on weed, that means out of your head on psychedelics. And I'm not judging anyone here because I've done all of those things and I've had great times on all of them. And the last thing that I want to do is be a killjoy. But I'm just telling you, having been doing this work for a few years now, that these attachments get in at any point that we are out of our center, can even be in a bad argument. You have a bad argument with someone and you get really out of your center. Oh, that's when these things can come in. Really bad trauma is when the nastiest stuff can get in, you know, physical, sexual abuse, that kind of stuff, you know, car accidents, you know, where if you get knocked out, knocked unconscious, they're when the really heavy attachments where perhaps you get in suicidal thoughts that aren't your own can come in and start, you know, messing with you. So the safest thing that we can do is stay in our consciousness, not alter our consciousness, even in terms of astral travel and stuff like that. Because what we have to remember is that anytime we do these things and we go out of our conscious, we go into 4D. Now in 4D there is good, bad, and a lot of ugly. Yeah, most of the good energies are 5D upwards. They don't hang around in 4D. So what you have in 4D is a lot of the bottom feed are parasitical energies. Okay, so when you go out of your center, you are in that, you're messing with that realm, and they are waiting for people to just come in, and that's when that's when you can get infiltrated, and that's when problems can arise. Now the thing is, at the moment, is that there are you know, we're in a war of consciousness, and what is playing out in 3D has been playing out in 4D for a long time. And these energies are ramping things up at this time. They know that there's this, I don't like the word awakening, because, you know, awake is something that happens when you die. It's wordplay. I think I've said that before. They know that there's this awareness coming into human consciousness, and they are trying to hijack it. So anyone on the path of truth seeking, particularly in the metaphysical arenas, they will hit people hard. Okay, so anyone looking at this kind of work, they're waiting to hijack, basically. So the safest thing to do is to stay in your consciousness. As boring as that sounds, and I know it's boring, and a lot of people hate me for speaking that. That's the safest thing that we can do. Also sexually, you know, open it. If we're promiscuous, we're opening ourselves up sexually to people, willy-nilly. You know, we have to remember that sex is a powerful vortex that creates life, right? And so that's going to attract a lot of vampiric energies, and this is why low vibrational sex is propagated, porn is propagated, because it's low vibrational, dirty energy. It's not a loving, pure sexual energy. It's low vibration, which is the energy that these entities, they love. And you can become corded with partners sexually, and you're tied to them for life. If you have sex with someone, unless you go through some energetic clearing, such as this, you are tied to them for life. And I think women take up to 50% of the karma in sex, basically. So we have to realize the fundamental problem is because humans don't understand that they're energetic beings. They don't understand that, you know, our energy is just as important as our physical safety. Our energetic safety is just as important as our physical safety. And so it's vital to be careful who you let into your energy field, what you do with your own consciousness, and really that's the safest way you can protect yourself. Now, for me, like my partner will tell you, I basically live a bit like Jesus, because I don't get drunk and I don't do any of that. I mean, it's even more important for me because I'm working on people's energy every day. So but if you want to safeguard yourself, then you have to safeguard your own energy and be very aware. And the other thing to say is that just as there is vampiric consciousnesses in 4D, we also have that in human form in 3D. We have energy vampires. So the same applies in 4D. It's what surprises me most is sometimes I work on people, and it's not so much pulling off entity attachments from them, although there's a lot of that. It's pulling off psychic energy from toxic people in their life. So it's very important to develop boundaries with people who are toxic. Sometimes it's very difficult because we have friends, family members that, you know, because we're told they're family, we automatically have to put up with all their shit. So protecting yourself from physical energy vampires is also very important. So always be aware of your energy. You know, everything affects it. What we're eating, you know, if we're eating a clean diet, then our energy is going to be a lot purer than if we're eating, you know, a poor diet. Or, you know, meat is obviously you're eating fear from the animal. You're eating that fear just as the animal was murdered. So you're going to be consuming that fear energy. That's going to lower your vibration. So everything we do affects our energy. So we have to be careful about the people that we let into our inner circle, and also what we're doing on an energetic front as well. So I hope that answers your question, Claire. Amethyst Muse, is this something I can do by myself, or do I need a helper? Okay, so the particular modality that I do is a lot more than chakra removal, as I've already said. And just one thing, I mean, I think I've mentioned this before. It is possible to remove your own chakras. Okay, people do it. The problem is that all these other overlays. So, for example, when someone removes their own chakras, an alarm bell goes off in 4D. Okay, and it lets these energies know that someone has come out of that particular hijacking. So that person can become more targeted. Okay, so what the modality that I use has a very meticulous way of removing all the overlays, removing the AI, removing the tech surrounding the surveillance, surrounding the subordination, and the other implants that are in place that flag people up and can make things worse. So this is information that's come through in the last 2 years. So it's almost 4 books it's going to be. So yes, you can do it yourself, but I'd be very careful. Let's just put it that way. But really and truly, if you're just focusing on the chakras, then you're missing so much more else that needs to be removed. So, you know, they've locked down the heart. There is lots of implants around the heart, the pineal gland. There's devices on there that need removing because they don't want people using their spiritual eye. The right side of the brain has I often find metallic plates just to shut down that creative aspect. We have other plugs that kind of just lead out into computers. We have neuronets, we have consciousness interfaces, we have cloning devices. That this work is so much more than chakra removal. So chakra removal really is just the tip of the iceberg in comparison to everything else that we're finding. So that, to answer your question, yes, you can do it yourself, but you have to be very careful, and you're not going to get all of it that needs removing. Hi Janosh, hi mate. I hope Janosh had a session. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I hope you're integrating well. It's been about a week now, I think, for you. So let me know how you're going. Hopefully not too much of a purge. I just want to, because I got a few questions in my Facebook group as well. For those of you that aren't in there, if you go onto Facebook, just type in chakra removal Tony Sayers. Then there's a group where you can ask questions, and it's quite interactive, and there's people in there that have had this process done. So one of the questions was about Reiki, and as I said at the start, I was a Reiki practitioner. I still do Reiki now. I just don't use the symbols because the symbols have been overlaid, just like the Kundalini has been overlaid. Now, what I mean by that is an overlay is like an AI device that harvests that energy for entities and interdimensionals to feed on. Okay, so so for that reason, I in sessions I pull off the attunements because there's no need for them. You can still do Reiki just by using your intention, because the overlays and when people are having their Kundalini awakening, they're there and they're harvesting it. They're harvesting that energy to use as food for themselves. These energies are parasites. They need our energy to survive. This is the cosmic joke, because humans think that they're not powerful when in fact we are hugely powerful, because we are being used as batteries by a massive range of different interdimensional entities, AI, alien. You know, it's all siphoning our energy. Okay, so I just wanted to answer that for the group question. Let's have a look. Navi Lou, I've experienced interdimensional feeding off my love or heart chakra energy. Have you heard of them feeding off positive energy, not just negative emotions, like we always hear? Um, yeah, I think. I mean, they definitely prefer the more negative energy, because they themselves are negative. Um, Maybe what my feeling is on that is maybe you're feeling them around you, maybe not necessarily um, actually feeding off that energy, but maybe because if you've got your chakras, you know, you're going to have the interdimensional attachments because that's how they lock in. So it could be, and you know, I don't know if we're positive all the time. So maybe there was an aspect that it was feeding off. I can't really say for for sure on that respect, but they definitely prefer negative emotions for sure. Um, okay, so Nina, I sent an email back in December 15. I haven't got an answer. Okay, so Nina, first of all, apologies for that. I'm having really a lot of problems with my emails. People are not. First of all, I'm not. People are not getting my emails that I'm sending back. So I'm having to reply from a more secure email. Um, and so it doesn't surprise me that I may not have received that. I reply to all emails. Um, I will email you after this session, and we'll go into detail as what that is. But yeah, so if you send me an email now, I might email you back from another account, because the last week or so, I'm really getting hijacked with emails at the moment. I'm getting, you know, as interest in this grows, it's getting more. You know, the matrix is stepping up probably. It's crazy, the interference surrounding this work. I could write a book about it. You know, people losing their wallets at the last minute so they can't pay me. People, their internet going down. Weird voices over Skype. You know, or sounds. Yeah, all kinds of weird stuff going on, Nina. So please, you know, I'm not ignoring you. I just haven't received it. So I will get back to you. I'll make sure I get back to you. If not tonight, first thing in the morning. So, question 2: when you're able to teach this interesting technique? Okay, so just because there's 2 questions in one there. So, um, there's no point in teaching until we've got all the information. Um, you know, just this week I've already found some more plugs in the head, and more stuff around the heart. So it's until we have it all, there's no point in teaching, because obviously teaching is going to take up a lot of time. We have to find it first, pendulum, the right language for it, to find out what these things actually are. And then eventually, of course, we will be teaching it, because there's 7 billion people on the planet, so it needs to be done. Do I buy the same pendulum you have? Do you have a link of your pendulum? You don't have to buy the same pendulum that I have. Where is my pendulum? This is the pendulum I have. For those of you that don't know, this is Arcturian technology, and it has over 100 crystals in it. It's not cheap, but it's good. It's really, really powerful. Um, I got this from a guy on Facebook. Nina, when I message you, I will include his details. But you can use. I find shungite is a good one to get. It's a good clearing pendulum if you can get hold of that. That I would recommend that. But I'll get back to you in the email on that, Nina. Got 14 in the group. Hi everyone, for newbies that are just joining. We're talking chakra removal, alien implant removal, overlays, all kinds of things weird and wonderful, or not so wonderful, as the case may be. Hi Irvin, hi mate. I got your email today. I will reply. It's been very hectic with sessions and everything. Irvin had a session yesterday, and I think he's doing okay, having some deep insights already, which is great. Claire, I have all the crystals. I don't drink or smoke weed. Sometimes I can get in dreams that feel like they get hijacked, faces change, etc. I'm trying to ground myself before sleep. Yeah, the dreaming's hard. The whole sleep thing's hard because when we sleep, naturally we go into 4D, we go into the astral. They've actually overlaid the astral body as well, by the way. So when we sleep at night, these entities basically they project basically nightmares or bad dreams down, and so we're in fear and anxiety when we're sleeping, and they've overlaid the astral body to harvest that energy from our sleep state. So that's why you can wake up feeling very tired after sleeping 12, 13 hours, whatever it may be. So that's another thing. So trying to protect yourself in sleep is difficult. You can set the intention before you go to bed to stay in your body. That might be worth a try, Claire, if you haven't done that already. Have you got kyanite by your bed? That might help with some of the interference. And also subconscious wounding. They can get in on that. That really goes back to your first question of how we can protect ourselves. What we need to understand is that these energies they know us better than we know ourselves. They know all our subconscious wounds. They can see our timelines. This is what deja vu is. It's a shift in timelines. They're shifting our timelines. So they probably know you better than they know yourself, and they definitely know your subconscious wounding. This is stuff, trauma from a child that's still in our subconscious, that's not healed. It's a very good idea to do the emotional inner child subconscious healing work, because not only do you manifest from your subconscious mind, they can get into us on our subconscious wounding. So very important that we do that work and heal ourselves on those levels. The spiritual awakening, the spiritual awakening is a trap anyway. It makes us think we're not fully divine yet, and that we have to achieve something through chakra work. Yeah, it is that, and I think it's a huge dose of bypassing. And what the New Age, or I like to call it New Age, New Cage, it's always it's basically Satanism dressed up. I mean, it's complete avoidance. You're not allowed to look at anything negative because it might lower your vibration, which is a complete spiritual bypass. Because we have to look through the negative to understand it, and then to shield ourselves. We're never allowed to get angry about anything, even though there's like all these injustices in the world, and we need to act. I'm not saying dwell in anger, but if you're not angry and upset about the state of the world right now, then there's something wrong with you. You're not human. And yeah, you're right, Janos. It's very it's giving our power away, and that's exactly right. So New Age is a big trap. started by dark Luciferians, and the more I look at that movement, the less I want anything to do with it. A lot of people in that arena don't like my work because it's deemed as negative, because you can't ever look anything like that. So yeah, I agree completely. Irvin, I think a lot of deception, hijacking is going on all levels. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's everywhere. Massively. You know what? Right. The reason we're in this situation is because we were deceived. When you go back to Atlantis, um, humans actually were amazing. We were living in harmony, and we were all getting on well. And then these false white light beings show up with technology, and humans got greedy. And then since then we've descended and descended, and we've been hijacked and deceived ever since. I mean, our food's deception. It's not food, it's Frankenstein food. What we're told by the media is deception. We don't get any truth from the mainstream media. Politicians deceive us all the time. They tell us they're going to go left, and then at the last minute they go right. Oh, look at the pharmaceutical industry. Oh, take a pill and it will heal you. Massive deception. And what bugs me most is that, considering we have all this deception, we don't have any discernment. There's very, very little discernment out there, even amongst the alternative media. And it's almost like we just want to believe anything as long as it feels good. And we have to get out of that mindset, because unfortunately at the moment we're in a situation where what is going to help us evolve and actually get through this bullshit doesn't actually sound very good. But we can't be scared of that. We have to face it head on. We have to face the dark night of the soul, and we have to work through it. And this is the thing that we need to do. We need to realize that we've been deceived, and then from that we need to think, right, okay, so if we keep getting deceived, we need to show more discernment. It's like with the likes of Russell Brand. He burst on the scene a few years ago, and like everyone was going goo goo for him, and then he's playing the child catcher in the Olympic Games opening ceremony, and he's actually written a book called The Pied Piper. It's that kind of thing. We get presented all the time with these people and these saviors, and it's just like, no, like, let's just think about these things. Things that appear good on the surface aren't always good for us. And this is what I love about this community, that people that are willing to look at this work and the new age deception is, these are mature people. These are people that are really what I would consider aware. They have the ability to discern. They're not just going to take the first thing that's fed to them. And I've got a lot of respect for this community, because it's almost like a community within a community now. And hats off to you guys, because like, I learn as much off you than you do from me, and some of your insights are fantastic. So really, really thank you. Thank a lot of thanks and gratitude for being involved with you guys. Right, hang on, where are we going now? Friends of mine are into dating, a lot of astral projects, a lot of rape shamans. Oh, mate, if I could tell you, I could write a book on the amount of people that come to me after they've seen a shaman. You can be a shaman now in a 2-week training course in London. It's ridiculous. And I mean, oh my God, just guys, just be very, very careful. Even with me, discern me. Don't necessarily listen to everything I say, but discern for yourself. What kind of feeling has that person got? What's their energy like? It astounds me how people just they say they're a shaman and that's it. They're like this. It's like the Holy Grail or something. But yeah, I'm not saying all shaman are bad. Not saying that, but I'm just saying that it's it's very easy these days to call yourself a shaman. A lot of the shaman have still got their chakras, which means, they're still being used as batteries. They're still having stuff working through them, which is then going to work through you. So just be very wary of that. I don't like that word shaman at all. It gives me the creeps. Then I asked him to ask the creator which one is he in the line of astral hierarchy. I like cloaking and disguise. Game with these spheres. Yeah. Again, more deception, Irvin. Lots of deception. Okay, so where are we going? Hi, no worries, Amethyst. You're welcome. Hi, Tony. Do we get chakras since we were born? Yes. So what happens is Ahugens. Sorry, I'm not pronouncing that right, probably. So basically, humans are born into pods. Okay, so I don't know if you guys have seen the film The Matrix, the opening scene or one of the opening scenes where all the humans are in those pods. So within those pods, we have overlays, we have AI, we have the implants, and we have the chakras. So when we are born, the AI construct automatically has a way of putting us in these pods, so to speak. So that's it doesn't start with perception. It starts with the fact that we're being hijacked from birth. And many of you who've been following my work will know about birth bumping, human souls, non-human souls. For those of you that don't know, there's two kinds of souls that are incarnating here on Earth. We have human souls that are, unfortunately, they're living a life being used as battery, dying, being tricked by the false white light, being guilt tripped. Tony, you lived a good life, but you hurt this person, this person, this person. You need to come back down on Earth to resolve your karma. And then, boom, they're back down on planet Crazy for another round to be used as a battery. Because ignorance doesn't die when you die. Ignorance lives on if you haven't figured things out in your life. Okay, so we have the human souls. Many of them are completely disconnected from their heart. They're completely lost their psychic abilities. They don't even realize they have psychic abilities. They've got no understanding that they're energetic beings, completely downtrodden. And then you have the non-human souls, which are, your indigos, your rainbow kids. They're being hit hard now with the vaccines. 63 now by the age of 6, because they know that these kids are coming through. They're a lot more connected to their heart, a lot more connected to their psychic abilities, and they pose a threat to the Matrix. And there's even, as I say, birth bumping going on, which is where the soul chooses the family, and then at the last minute they have the ability to bump the soul into a dysfunctional family, where that soul goes on to experience trauma and maybe abuse, that kind of thing, and never kind of lives out its purpose. Maybe it turns to drugs, alcohol. Doesn't get all the non-human souls. A lot of the non-human souls still get through it, but it's quite sad what's going on. So Janosh, I'm doing fine. So Janosh had a session maybe a week ago. So he says, I'm doing fine, more centered and in my middle. My patterns are changing to more healthy living. I think changes are fast, but then that then needs time, and patterns change the mind, they change slow. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, right? Because I know Claire was someone as well. When people go through this process, I've seen amazing changes happen quickly. People changing their diet, people giving up alcohol, people maybe letting toxic people go that have been in their life for a long time. It really does something that makes you more connected and more able to make better decisions about your life. So I'm really, really pleased to hear that, Janosh. I really hope that you kick on and become the best version of you, because that's all I want. People that have sessions with me, I always say it's not a holy grail. It's not, it's not a magic wand to all your marital problems or your unhealed emotions that have been there since you were 5. You know, that work still needs to get done, but what it does is it just clears the pathways. It clears the pathways so you can connect to yourself. You can hear your own voice. You haven't got this mind chatter going on all the time. So great to hear, great to hear. What do you think about soul contracts? Yeah, I think that that's a thing, particularly for probably the human souls that have been here lifetime after a lifetime. Yeah, I mean, in sessions I remove all contracts, and I also do soul retrieval as well. It's quite interesting because um, our soul can fracture throughout our lifetime, and some people only have a certain percentage of their soul, and the reason for that is because you know, take a relationship breakup can be very traumatic, and it's traumatic not because you're just losing a person, but there's also a battle for the soul as well. So definitely a thing for sure. What kind of energetic structure are you suggesting? I think closest Chinese meridians. Yeah, it's Dantian Ahuans is what I would say. So we still have the 3 vortexes around the third eye, the heart, and the sacral, but it's these 7 artificial plugs that are that are that are not beneficial for us. And as I say, batteries for us to be drained and energy harvested. So yeah, so that's the thing, right? Take the Reiki thing. People go, oh well, if you haven't got the chakras and you know the attunements, and you know you've still got your energy vortex. You're not going to die. But I get that. Oh, you'll die without your chakras. It's crazy. It's crazy. No, you won't die. You'll thrive. Um, but yeah, mad. Yeah, so I would go with the meridians and the dantians, and you know, as I say, we're still finding things. So, but at this moment in time, with the information we've got, this is our belief anyway. I have a shungite necklace I'm wearing right now. Oh, brilliant! Yeah, shungite very good for energy clearing. Even if you have a bath, just stick the shungite in the bath or in the water if you're going to drink the water. Um, all good. Jao Pedro, how do I remove my chakras? What techniques do you use? It's yeah. I don't know whether you can watch this video back from the start, but I talk about Jao removing your own chakras. Um, it is possible, but I don't recommend it because there's alarms that go off, AI fail safes, backup systems. So it has to be done meticulously. AI is meticulous in its hijacking, so we have to be meticulous in how we remove these things. And if you do remove your own, sometimes you can become more targeted, and it can make things a little bit worse. The techniques that I use are a combination of pendulum work, as I've already discussed. I use intention. I use clear visual abilities, so seeing things in the astral. I use intuition and downloads, and it's a combination of all those things within a session. Sometimes it helps if you state before going to sleep, I'm a sovereign being. Yeah, Sandra. Yeah, I would say that is something that could help. Or like I say, setting that intention, because intention is very strong. In setting that intention to stay within your body, and as you say, Sandra, state that I'm a sovereign being and no lower interdimensionals or dimensional entities are allowed in my field. Joe, I think I just answered that question. So if anyone wants to contact me after this session, I'll put a link in the description below, or my email is tony@transcendingtimes.org, or you can use tonysayers79@gmail.com. I'm kind of working off 2 emails at the moment because I'm having so much interference with both receiving and sending emails. So, Claire, I'll be looking forward to sessions with your partner again in the near future. Has to be done 100%. Yeah, my partner does the emotional healing in the child work. She's amazing with that. not just saying that because she's my partner, but very, very good at what she does. Her website is emotionalsovereignty.com for anyone who's interested in doing some inner work. Um, uh, is Nina into photography? I wouldn't know. Nina, are you into photography? Claire, with the new findings, implants, should we looking in soon for a research the third book? Yeah, I mean it's difficult at the moment because it's all like this is new information. It's like we it's coming through in layers. I mean it's really exciting times at the moment because you know times of Revelations, Book of Revelations. So all this stuff is coming to the surface. So there is more stuff, certainly from the last time that we worked on you a while ago. So yeah, you might want to email me about that, and I'll let you know, Claire. Claire thought, oh, vegan now. Wow, great, massive changes for you. Fantastic, brilliant stuff. Yeah, Claire's one that's as I was saying before about how I see massive changes from people after a session. I think she's done a lot of work on herself, and it's great to see Claire. And I hope your kids are doing well. I've worked on her kids as well. Let me know how they're going. I'd be interested to know. Uh, Yoni eggs and steam help women big time. I don't really know about that, to be honest. I don't know what you mean by steam, but I'm not an expert on yoni eggs. Wouldn't know. Um, okay, so one more time. I'm tripped so bad on weed that I start having convulsions, and I saw that I was in a pod. Could that have been real? Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what is real. You're in a pod, unless we've had a session. I don't think we have. You're in a pod. So what you saw then was actually the truth. Um, and like I say, you can't. I'm not saying you can't get good insights in with all these things, but you've definitely seen an insight there for sure. So yeah, we're born into pods. So what you saw was pretty accurate, I would say. Um, what can you say about aura field? From what determines colours and size? I remember when I was a kid at school, I could see each other. Okay, so this is the interesting thing. The auric fields are obviously highly attacked. So when I see auric fields, generally there's a load of what my subconscious shows me anyway as arrows, darts, um, like God, like hooks, um, just things that are attacking it basically. So the auric field does get highly attacked. In terms of the colors and the size, I don't really see colors and sizes. I just see it's almost like I get shown the hijacking of stuff. So I can't quite answer that one, but certainly the auric field is highly attacked. But also in the sessions, we also have multi-dimensional shields that get activated as well. They help to protect against third dimensional distorted energy, such as radiation, Wi-Fi. It doesn't completely safeguard us, but it does help to an extent. So that's something else. So we've got 19 people in here, and I've got no other questions at the moment. Oh, yes, I have. Young Eggs. Yeah, any more questions, guys? Please chime in. I'd like to do about an hour, but if we don't get the questions, then I'll cut it short. So, what can you say? The only executive of the only move them past Randy the only try. Yeah, I mean, possibly. Yeah, crystals are healing. Possibly. Yeah, I mean, part of the sessions that I offer are womb healings as well. That's just comes in standard with what I do. But yeah, yoni eggs could probably do that as well. Um, if I'm thinking at something, I usually get that thing. What that means? Um, I don't know, mate. You know, a part of you is tapped in, and when we're on that stuff, weed that is, we you know, we do get insights from it. But you know, when we're doing it, we have to take the good, the bad, and the ugly with it. And I definitely wouldn't recommend weed for anyone that has a session afterwards. I'm just being upfront. You know, I like to make this clear as well, right? You know, as much as there's some great benefits with this work, and people make great changes and they feel a lot clearer. This is only people. This modality is only for people that want to become the best version of themselves, that want to grow, that want to evolve. Um, you know, the if you're someone that still wants to like be promiscuous, take loads of drugs, and it's not for you. You know, just save yourself the money. Honestly, this is for people that want to expand their consciousness. They want to grow, because the more you do that, the more insights you get, the more understanding you get, the more downloads you get, and really, it's for people that want to get out of this bloody matrix. Because alcohol, weed, um, fags, you know, that's all matrix stuff. They're trappings of the matrix, and you know, it really is that simple. And you know, it might sound harsh, but one of the things that I want this year, and I set the intention, because I'm not here just to, you know, get loads of sessions. I want to have sessions where people are going to go on and they're going to become the best version of themselves, and they're going to become better partners, better mothers, better fathers. They're going to, because we can't heal the world unless we heal ourselves. So, you know, I want to do this to help heal the world and heal others. So, you know, my intention is that people come to me because you know, they've had enough of all this matrix malarkey, and they want to make positive, long-lasting changes, and effect change in the world, and be that shining light where people go, wow, you know, do you see Irvin now? He's like really changed. He's really, you know, he's really. Have you seen Claire now? You know, she's given up meat. She's given up alcohol. You know, to be that like spark. You know, that's what I want. So, um, okay. So, in general, with the next stage of Animal Farm rolling out 5G, how protected is someone from these mills if they've effectively removed their chakras? Well, the thing is, in external anarchy, sorry, you removing your chakras doesn't take anything away. You gain. When you remove your chakras, you gain. The chakras are not good for you. The chakras are siphoning your energy. So when you remove them, you're only getting stuff back. You're getting more energy back. You're getting less interfered with. You're able to think clearer. You don't have all the negative mind loops all the time. You are only gaining, and that's not just me saying that. That's other people in this chat forum. Um, how do we know if anything is real? Is there just a scope for different people here to learn different lessons? How do we know? Well, you know, Peter, that you know, that's solipsism. You know, to think that we can't know anything is a kind of mind control, occult thing put out, because if we think that we can never know anything, then we'll never get anywhere. You know, there is an objective truth that is always consistent, that's always running, you know. So it's not so much knowing if anything is real. I mean, in a way, it's not real. It's a holographic computer game, as far as I'm concerned. But whether we like it or not, we're in this computer game, and we can either level up and progress through the levels, or we stay as we are. And this is just a modality that helps people level up, and that's all I ever describe it as. And it's a big level up. It is a big level up, but we still have to do the rest ourselves. And that's the other thing, you know, because in the healing world, and again, I'm just going to say it how it is. People, you know, they want a quick fix, okay, and this isn't that either, okay. So this can bring some stuff up for you, as some people will definitely say, it can, if you've got stuff buried there and you're hoping for a quick fix, that this might just get rid of it all for you. No, it won't. It will probably make you deal with it, if I'm honest. But by dealing with it and going through it, you come out the other side. So this is a powerful, wonderful modality for people that want to face their real self and become who they really are, the best version, the best timeline, that want to walk that best timeline. So do you practice qigong or something that helps control energy flow to learn? I don't, but I should probably have some kind of practice like that. The reason I'd probably need a practice like that is because I can be quite intense, and I could do with I can do with just flowing sometimes. So I guess my thing is I like walking in nature. I get out in nature. If I'm feeling like I need to ground or I need to be in flow better, then I'll just go out in nature and have a walk. Or that's my qigong, if you like. The boys are doing great. They're a year and a half now. When they start talking, things might get interesting. Great, glad to hear they're doing well. Irvin, the three dantians are still intact after the session. Yes, they are, Irvin. Yeah, the dantians are your natural energy vortexes. They're your natural chakras. For those of you that have just joined, they're the ones around the third eye, the heart, and the sacral. So the dantians are still in place. I didn't do anything with them, mate, so you're all right. Don't worry, you're not going to die. Heart region opens up. Yeah, a lot of the implants I remove are around the heart. Obviously they want to try and shut the heart down. So there's a hell of a lot of metallic stuff around there. So you would hope as the days progress that you can start feeling that, and you start feeling that expansion again. But what I will say, if there's subconscious wounds there that have shut the heart down emotionally, then you need to work through that as well. Going to wait and see. Yeah, special kids, Claire. Yeah, they are lucky that they came to you. They are lucky. They're going to get a very good start in life and very good grounding, and you're gonna be a very good role model for them. And conscious parenting is something the world needs desperately, because what we have right now is we have kids having kids, and they're not being taught what food to eat. They're not being taught that that they're sovereign beings. They're just being taught to consume. To It's just another round and round in the hamster wheel. So what you're doing, Claire, is you're bucking the trend, and it'll be interesting to see what they do in their lives with how you're going to bring them up. So thank you for bringing up conscious children. Telekinesis. Thank you, Tony, for spreading the good info. Yeah, you're welcome. No problem at all. But just be aware that there is a lot more than just the chakras that need removing. And if you want me to send you the information, it's very in depth. You can just email Tony@transcendingtimes.org or TonySayers79@gmail.com. How can we heal our damaged DNA? Basically, I work on DNA in sessions. I always end the session by cleaning up the DNA. You can get a pendulum, Claire, and just set the intention. You've got 24 strands now, so you just go through each strand and just set the intention to clear each strand, especially strand 7, because strand 7 radiates love. They're always trying to mess with that one. Especially if you've been in an X-ray, or you've been through airport security, because those things scramble our DNA. So again, you just set the intention to unscramble the DNA. If you've had an X-ray, work on the first 3 strands, because they're the strands that the X-rays really affect. Hi Mayra, how you doing? Oh, there's some kind of sexual innuendo from Mayra. See, this is the level of consciousness that we have to deal with. Hi Tony, it's Jason. I screen the Facebook. One is happily free from that. One happily free from that censored site now. Yeah, yeah. Facebook heavily censored. In fact, saying that, Jason, I basically got banned from posting in groups today. So the censorship continues. So we do what we can. I'm surprised that I'm still allowed a YouTube channel at the moment, but my emails are being hit badly at the moment. So thanks. Yeah, I'm doing really well. I'm feeling good. You know, obviously I'm removing this stuff from myself first of all when I find it and when we come across it. So I'm feeling very clear, very concise. Um, yeah, very pure with my energy at the moment, so it's good. I recommend Qigong for everyone today. I practice 15 minutes outside when it's snowing. Oh, you're nuts! Qigong in the snow, absolutely nuts. Where are you? Are you in Europe or Canada or where's the cold? Oh, Myra, sorry, I it just on the on the chat it said that it was some kind of, I don't know, something to do with the penis or something. I don't know. Sorry if I've taken that the wrong way. Um, my question really was how 5G affects you now you've removed your chakras. Um, this is how I see this modality, and it's not just the chakras. As I say, it's a lot of other energetic interference. Imagine like a cork under the sea, and then you just take your hand away, and then it floats to the top. Okay, this is how I perceive this modality. It helps you float to the top, and I think that it will. It's not that I won't be affected by 5G, but maybe I won't be affected as much as other people. That's how I see it. I'm not going to say, and it would be dangerous and wrong for me to say, if you have this work done, 5G is not going to affect you. I'm not going to say that because I don't know that for truth yet. I'm not saying it's not possible, but this is a whole war on consciousness, right? So if we're raising our vibration and our consciousness, if we do this collectively, then we can raise this above 5G. That's where I'm going with it. So as an individual form of consciousness, maybe I have a little bit more less interference with that than others. So yeah, that's what I would say on that. My question, didn't know you got the strands back. Question amazing. Yeah, 24 strands. Yeah, 12 strand is a lie. We're actually 24 strand DNA. Yeah, of course, the 97% junk DNA is a complete lie, which we knew anyway. Yeah, so strand 7, which radiates love, is very highly targeted. And it's nice, you can feel it, because that's actually going back to Wi-Fi. That's what Wi-Fi damages our DNA. So it's actually noticeable when I clear my own DNA. I feel a lot clearer afterwards. Yeah, yeah, I do know about the meme culture, Myra, and do you know what? I love a good meme. So it's the 115th chakra. Yeah, are you balancing your meme chakra, Myra? That's what I want to know. How much have you balanced your meme chakra? Deborah, aren't you basically just removing the lower chakras that are no loss to the higher dimensional lower chakra connected us with lower dimension, mainly 3D? No, I'm removing all chakras. They're all they're plugs. So you know, yes, they are anchoring us to the lower dimensions, but they're also doing that because they're plugs. They're plug sockets for interdimensionals and entities to lock into and drain your energy like batteries. So that's how you're being anchored, is by the whole 7 chakras, not just the lower chakras. It goes a little bit deeper than that for sure. How does diabetes having How does having diabetes affect our chakras? Um, I don't know, to be honest. For me, it's black and white. The chakras are bad. We don't need them. We're better off without them. Um, Having this stuff cleared I've seen with people, has had a beneficial effect on people's health. I'm not going to promise that it's going to get rid of diabetes, cure cancer, cure AIDS, or anything like that, because I've got no evidence for that. But I have had people report back, suddenly their fibromyalgia's got better, other aches and pains have gone. And that's also, I think, to a big degree because they've overlaid our essence energy by 50%, so we're not getting our full quota. When we remove the overlays, you start getting a full quota. So you thereby, if you're getting more essence energy, obviously you're going to heal better and you're not going to be so hijacked. So your ability to heal is better. Earth, heart, the heart, when allowed to fully untouchable to any interdimensional being. Yeah, and Max Spear spoke about that. The Earth is the heart center of the universe, and it's the final battle. This is why it's so ramped up. They've got other planets. They've got Mars. They've got Venus. Earth is the only thing that's stopping them taking the Earth is the human heart. So I'm with you on that one. Claire, other than eating clean as possible, no drinking, what other practice can we do to raise our vibrations? Set boundaries with toxic people. That's always a hard one because they bring us down. You think about it, like you can be around the person for half an hour and you can feel totally drained. So it's shielding yourself from people that really, bring your energy levels down. That's something that we can do. Being out in nature, always make time to be out in nature. That always helps me. A nice long walk, exercise, all the normal things you would expect. Do something you love. I always think being creative as well. Because we're creative beings, that's our essence. And obviously they've tried to beat that out of us with school, and which is indoctrination. And we see that with the implants on the right side of the brain, which is our creative part. Find something creative. I mean, for me, I love to write books. I've got loads of books on Amazon. You can check those out. Just type in Tony Sayers on Amazon, and there's a whole load of books. I like writing. For some people it's painting. Some people like writing music or art. Just, I don't know if you've got something in your life, Claire, that's creative, but maybe that would be a good thing as well. Claude, you hit the nail on the head. What's responsible for repetitive negative thought loops? It's your chakras, my friend. This is the biggest difference people report when they remove their chakras. They no longer get the negative thought loops. Now, I'm not saying you won't ever get a negative thought again in your life, but it is unbelievable the stillness in your mind when you go through this process afterwards. It's for me, it's worth £1 million. It's when people ask me how much my sessions are, it's $130 my session, and that's just not just the chakras. That's everything else I do. But that alone, just to not have that mind chatter, is worth £10 million as far as I'm concerned. So the negative mind chatter comes from interdimensional entities locking in, and they are the ones that loop those negative thought loops in, because they need you in a negative thought loop, so you keep generating negative energy. So that is their food. See what I mean? Meditation. I'm not a fan of meditation. Just doesn't feel right. I've worked on people. I've seen. I mean, it's again, you're chancing it. You're going it. I mean, it may be in moderation. I mean, I know people that go on these retreats like nearly every week, and one of them ended up in a mental hospital. It's just my own personal view on that. I prefer to just stay I like to just you can quiet the mind and things like that. That's all good, and ponder things. I like to ponder. Is that meditation? I don't know. And you still get downloads and things, but I don't know. Um, where can we find more info about the DNA strands, or can you shortly say what that is supposed to do? I haven't got them all in front of me now, but I think maybe did I send you the information, Janosh, in the overlays? If not, I can send it to you again. But it has got what all the DNA strands are there for. Um, but obviously the seventh strand stands out because it's the one of love. So. Yeah. What drugs are you talking about? So yeah, I mean, I think Claire's just talking about your heroin and cocaine and that kind of stuff. But I also, they're not drugs, but I include psychedelics. Maybe not natural stuff like mushrooms, anything natural, but and taking cannabis for medicinal purposes. Yeah, I get that, but sitting there smoking weed is going to put you in 4D and it's going to lower your vibration. And yes, you can get good insights. I miss the feeling of smoking weed. I can't do it obviously because I'm working on people's energy. My energy has to be crystal clear. But it's not beneficial for people that want to do this modality and want to become the best version of themselves. And that's my goal this year. I want to help people reach their potential. I see so many ambulances every day. The noise feels like an attack. Yeah. Well, vibration, isn't it? It's and a lot of the music, modern music, has satanic vibration infused in it. I mean, I don't know whether the sirens do, but yeah, I mean they're pretty disturbing. But you're probably just you're very energy sensitive, and that expands out to sound as well. And it's all to do with cities, isn't it? Isn't it? Everyone's cooped in these massive cities, like just crowded places, concrete jungles where it's all dense and everyone's stressed and rushed and so far away from how we should be living. And yeah, I mean, I lived in London before, and the ambulances and the police cars and the noise, you can't quieten your mind. So yeah, of course it's going to affect you, and it's going to affect your energy. It's going to make you feel, not in alignment. So definitely agree with that. Whenever I feel like I get somewhere in this world, I get a knock on the door from the energy vampires. Yeah, that's Agent Smith, Claire. You're they're gonna target you. See, these energies, when they can't get you, and when you look after your energy like you do, they will try and get you through other people to put you off your path. So just stay strong. I know you've got great willpower. So the planets and the moon part of the matrix, I believe. I definitely think the moon is. The moon's having the matrix is being beamed down from Saturn and then amplified through the moon and onto humanity. So I definitely with you on the moon. Not so sure about the planets. Haven't really looked into that so much. Yeah, the people we need to scrap. Yeah, I know what you mean. Not necessarily even scrap, Claire, because that can be really hard. But even just distancing ourselves. Um, creative. Look up Lunar Wave. Lunar Wave. Oh, that looks interesting, Janosh. I will have a look at that. I'm from Lithuania. Wow, that is cold. I started to feel nature more and more situation. I'm on the way for maximum DNA activation. Oh, I've got to try Wim Hof. I keep meaning to try Wim Hof stuff, but I just never say I haven't got the time. It's a bit of an excuse, really, isn't it? Just haven't got round to it yet. Oh, Deborah, removing the negative, it's priceless. It's priceless. I just can't believe you. That morning after I had this work done, my mind was still for the first time ever in my life. And it's kind of eerie because you just realize how long that mind chat has been there for. And I kind of take it for granted now because I'm used to it. But if I sit here now, there's no, it's just peace. And yeah, it's completely priceless, completely priceless. You know, I'd rather take stillness of mind than win the lottery. That's how I view this. Wim Hof is quite an interesting dude. Yeah, he's really interesting. I know negative energy is being siphoned for food, but what about the positive they're siphoned off, used for creativity? Yes, someone else asked this, Deborah. You know, I'm not so sure how much positive energy they siphon. I know they siphon sexual energy, but it's not the positive side sexual energy. It's low vibrational sex. You know, like the porn kind of sex that, you know, people are into these days. You know, so I think, I don't know how much positive they can siphon, but they definitely like the lower vibe. Let's put it that way. Cities agree to this. Nature is an option. Acquire some knowledge on self-sustainability and something to do. Yeah, there's a lot we can do, and yeah, we have to be aware of our surroundings. And you know, I used to love living in London, but now you know, I need to be in the mountains or by a lake or somewhere, somewhere in nature. And yes, we want to do it the right way. Yeah, absolutely agree. Okay, guys, any other questions? Because we've been going over an hour now, so if there isn't any other questions, probably going to wrap this up. It's getting late here now in the UK, but yeah, I just want to thank you all for partaking in this. Some great questions there. Really appreciate you guys. Loads of stuff I'm going to look up there from your suggestions. Much love to you all. And you know, I hope for those of you that have had this process done, keep strong with your alignment. You know, keep heading in the right direction. We know what's good for us. Do the inner work if you need to. Don't avoid that side. We all need to do that to some extent. And for those of you that haven't had this process, you know, just keep on discerning. If you want me to send information, email me, tonysayers79@gmail.com or tony@transcendingtimes.org. Sorry. And yeah, if you want to book a session or you want more information, just feel free to send me an email. Or you can go to my website, transcendingtimes.org, and you go under the Healing with Tony, and you can contact me through there. But yeah, much love to you all and have a great evening. Take care. Bye bye.